the Chronicles of Russian-Ukrainian War. Today is August 1st, 2026, and here is Toli Sense. We're talking about the last events and evolution of Russian aggression against Ukraine. So we're talking about Russian strikes on Ukraine and Ukrainian strikes back. Also, we're talking about Frontline, what changes and evolution in the Frontline. Also, we're talking about main political events, what's happening in Kyiv with ex-defense minister of Ukraine, Mikhail Fedorov, and also about President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. So let's start. 4 years and 159 days of war have passed. On today's ISW maps, there are no changes along the front line, and therefore there is nothing to comment on. Overnight, the Russians launched 4 Zircon and Onyx anti-ship missiles against Ukraine, 27 Iskander-M or S-400 ballistic missiles, 2 Ha-31 anti-radar missile, 2 Ha-59 or Ha-50-69 guided air-launched missiles, and 185 drones. Ukrainian air defense intercept 1 Iskander-M or S-400 ballistic missile, 1 Ha-59 guided air-launched missile, and 154 enemy drones. Strikes were recorded from 4 anti-ship missiles, 26 ballistic missiles, and 23 strike drones at 21 locations, with debris falling at 2 more locations. In addition, 3 more missiles failed to reach their targets. The attack continued through all day. How many missiles and drones in total the Russian launched against Ukraine over these 24 hours has not been reported. Today, President Zelensky did not dress it up. He said it simply and clearly. Only 1 ballistic missile out of 27 was shot down overnight, simply because there are no interceptors for Patriot systems. And to those words of his, I have nothing to add. For its part, Russia's Ministry of Defense reports that over these 24 hours, 426 Ukrainian drones were shot down over Russian territory. How many drones were launched in total by Ukraine and how many of them hit their targets, the Russian military has kept with a secret. The main target of today's Russian strike was again Kyiv. Damage was recorded in 7 districts of the Ukrainian capital city, including residential building, a school, hospital, and the Lithuanian embassy. As a result of Russian missile strikes, 9 people were killed and more than 30 were wounded. Dnipropetrovsk, Sumy, Poltava, and Kharkiv regions were also hit. In Izum of Kharkiv region, drones struck warehouse facilities and a large fire was reported. Ukrainian drones today attacked the Bashneft oil refinery in Ufa in Russia. After a drone hit the facility, a fire broke out. Temporary flight restrictions were enforced at the local airport. In Tatarstan, in Russia, in Nizhnekamsk, after the Ukrainian drone attack, a fire broke out on the polystyrene production facility at the Nizhnekamsk Neftekhim plant. In Volgograd, again in Russia, a Wildberries marketplace warehouse was hit by Ukrainian drones, together with the local oil refinery and residential buildings. 1 person has been reported dead and 8 people wounded. Energy infrastructure was also attacked in Russian-occupied parts of Zaporizhia and Donetsk region. Over the past few days, ex-defense minister of Ukraine, Mikhail Fedorov, has given several interviews in which he explained how he sees the reasons for his dismissal. First, he believes that the government of Ukraine resignation was carried out for one single purpose: to remove him from the chair of defense minister. Second, he believes that through his fight for transparency in all tenders and procurements of the Defense Ministry of Ukraine, he made himself a large number of enemies, including several among the security services who themselves have commercial interests and not only protect supplier firms, but also directly own them. Starting in the spring, mounting pressure began on President Volodymyr Zelensky to get rid of Mikhail Fedorov, something Fedorov has warned Zelensky about. At a certain point, it worked. The conflict of Mikhail Fedorov with the general staff of Ukraine is nothing more than a pretext. In reality, there were disputes with General Syrsky and his generals, but they were not irreconcilable. And if that had been the only reason, it would not have been enough. In the middle of the war, to stage such personal shake-up, sending bulky wartime figures into resignation at once, the defense minister and the commander-in-chief. Fedorov said much more, but what I have already listed is enough to say that he has not revealed. They are afraid that such interference would only disorganize an army that is already fighting in ways no one fully understands, along with services that support it. They proceed from a simple and clear principle: if you don't understand how the system works, don't touch it. But when the war ends and the question arises of allocating money to rebuild a destroyed country, then no chance. Until Ukraine get rid of this particular feature, no one will give the nation any money. And then you can write Ukraine off, a country lying in ruins with a third of its population killed or fled abroad. And if on top of that it's also left without investment, it's done. So think about that before it's too late. And glory to Ukraine. Thank you guys, like it, subscribe it, and see you tomorrow.